live. It's just recording though.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing about Shiki thing, where I basically don't buy that much because even though he was there around Roger's time and Whitebeard's time, the fact that those guys could use, I'm assuming Roger could use it, hockey. He could use basically armament hockey to fight against Whitebeard because I don't think some guy who doesn't have any hockey, that some kind of overpowering spirit, could go against Whitebeard and his Quake powers and survive. And Shiki, I'm not taking him like seriously because one, we never got to saw like what he could actually his full extent, and because he was seeing a movie, he's canon in the manga, but for the movie, it's not really canon.
Yeah, it's like the chapter 0 or episode 0, whatever you call it, that is canon, but then the movie itself isn't canon.
Yeah, the movie isn't canon. There's the TV show, no, the episode, the anime episode is canon itself, but the movie's not canon, so I can't really use the guy as Yonko level
Well, you
because
can though because in that one episode, it shows him on Whitebeard's ship talking to Whitebeard
yeah,
casually.
yeah. But the thing, what I'm trying to say is, if he was the one of the top three, how come it was basically I think how it goes is was like Whitebeard is up there. Roger faces him. Roger gets up there. Basically now Whitebeard becomes number two, and then you have Shiki. Shiki, who I don't think he would clash with Whitebeard directly. He would probably fire shit from distances. And with Roger, he would probably go head to head with Roger. It's like the two biggest ones they go against each other, and the weakest one basically stays behind and fight whoever is fucking wounded.
I mean, but he's still on their level though. Because
I
if he
don't
wasn't
know.
on their level, then Whitebeard
Because
would what
if
Whitebeard wouldn't let him on the ship like that.
I think it's because of respect, but the white people could have just destroyed him. I don't think he would have just like split the sky in half like Shanks versus Whitebeard.
Why not? He has two famed swords, man.
so, so he's saying he's gonna pull what's his name again? Peg leg Zeph move, and basically while he's going to clash with Whitebeard and this is Vicento, somehow he's gonna do the same thing Shanks did prior to that.
Hey man, I don't know what Zeph did. I don't even remember Zeph fighting, but
Zeph is he's basically like that dude. He's basically a kicking master. Basically, he's a martial artist. Basically,
uh well, I mean, I'm just saying, like Shiki, I feel like it's kind of obvious that if there was such thing as a Yonko ranking system back then, Shiki was definitely one of them.
but back then there was no Yonko. The Yonko system came 20 years after Roger died. They only were pirates that were strong enough to survive the New World.
But is that guaranteed though? Is that confirmed?
No, it was said so in the manga. In the manga said that nobody could cross the Grand Line. Nobody could probably like survive in the New World once they get there, and only three pirates were able to use have a crew and go from the Grand Line up into the New World and survive. The rest of the ships, basically, they got sunk, crushed because of the weather, because of the amount of like beasts that are in the waters. So some got lucky. And the ones that got lucky, it was basically Whitebeard, Shiki, and Roger. But when it comes to overall strength, Shiki, I'm not taking him as a strong person because even if the movie wasn't canon, he got taken down by a kid in rubber who had rubber powers. Or this guy's supposed to be one of the top three, so why didn't he use hockey? That's my biggest thing. Like if he used hockey, he would have probably destroyed Luffy, but he didn't
Look,
do it.
man, that wasn't canon, so you can't even judge it like that.
Yeah, but I know. But I'm
It's
using that.
different. Okay, it's different. It feels like a whole crocodile situation again, where like he just straight up didn't use it at all, and we saw it in the story, but it was on a movie. We don't even know why they made that movie, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, because the movie itself, you can't make it canon, and you basically when you think about it, the other what's his name? Arm like Metal Arm Zeph or some guy, whatever his name was. This guy, even though he's not canon himself, he was
Mhm.
more OP than Shiki. I have more
Yeah,
respect for this guy than Shiki, because Shiki couldn't use hockey, and he basically got the NO treatment.
I mean, that's how they disrespect characters, man. But notice they always disrespect the strong characters.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't have, I don't have no problem with the fact the character is canon. But why would you just destroy the character in a movie and not talk about him in the manga? Like the only thing
Yeah,
he
like that. Like
that's
that's mad disrespectful.
disrespectful. That's
That's mad disrespectful because, like, okay, before the movie came out, we heard about Shiki and we heard about how he was hyped up to be the only person that got
just
Elephant pulled down and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And that he was facing off of Roger. And then in the movie, he just gets beat up. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't make yeah. It's like that guy Foxy, right? Foxy was a
Mm.
canon character. Now you don't fucking see this guy anymore in the manga. Now he's on some filler quest in One Piece anime. That's
Yo, they threw him to filler, bro.
he's on a filler quest. That's basically what he is. But he's basically coming in on the specials. That's it. And to do
Yo,
that to a guy who was top three, even before the Yonko system was around, to make him fucking get destroyed in a movie.
that's messed up, man. That's like being. I'm trying to think of a good analogy. That's like being the main villain in like the first video game, and then like whenever the next video game comes out, like you're only in the what do you call it? You're only in like the
Halfway point.
no, what do you call those? You're only in the mini games.
Okay.
Yo,
Yeah, because yeah, it's mad disrespectful, man. It's like because now if you have to reread One Piece Impel Down, you think about the Shiki like, yo, where's Shiki coming in? Where's he coming in the story? Is he coming in when there's gonna be that giant war? Is he coming now? No,
bro, and I was thinking like even with my whole theory about him being from Wano, like say it's true, right? Because it makes sense, but say it's true. He's not gonna pop up at Wano. It's not like he's gonna be the Shogun or anything. You know what I'm saying? That's just unrealistic at this point. You know what I'm saying? Especially since we've already seen him in the movie. Like, it would just be too confusing. Like, really, he's just a part of the past at that point.
yeah,
You can't really throw him in the story that easily anymore.
he got destroyed off panel, bro. So what's the point? Like unless you basically pull a major ass pull and create some kind of lost story arc where basically he survived somehow Luffy's attack from the sky, and the fact that he fell in the ocean, like you're not getting back from that, man, unless some fishman save you or something.
You think Aladdin saved him?
Aladdin at this point, I don't think, the way I see the way I see the movie, it's way before the time scale. It's probably around I would say going for Eni's lobby.
Mm. But man, you don't think Aladdin, jumped in the water and he was all like, basically pulled a Peckham's 2.0?
I mean, he did that. I mean, where is he now? Is he Big Mom's like fucking? Is he Big Mom's cabin boy now?
Wow. Mad disrespect, bro.
I'm like, where you at, man? Where's my cabin boy? Where's my?
And that's another thing. Do you think it's safe to say that Big Mom would have been one of the stronger pirates back in the day, since it's confirmed that she had poneglyphs back in the day as well?
Well, that's the thing about it, though. That puts a wrench on the Shiki thing you were talking about, because it stated it was just these three guys were like they were up there, but there was no mention of Big Mom. So how does Big Mom come into the story?
Yeah, Big Mom
Although,
was kind of yeah. They pulled her out of nowhere, pretty much.
yeah, because although I do say this, they did add other filler stuff like Dofumito being at the execution, Boa Hancock, like the future Shichibukais, the
Yeah,
future main characters coming in the story. But Big Mom was not even shown in that chapter, so that's like a what the fuck moment.
yeah, man. I mean, honestly, the only thing that would actually make sense if, like, maybe she wasn't one of the Yonko back then, but she already had poneglyphs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing that would make sense. Like,
Well,
she just happened to have poneglyphs.
Unless basically she was starting out, just like how I believe Crocodile was starting out.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I
And
wouldn't say crocodile though.
that's how he basically. I think it was either Whitebeard that cut his hands off. I don't know. Maybe it was how Whitebeard that cut his hand. So maybe it was like just like Crocodile, because Crocodile said back then, yo, I was just like Luffy. I was like you. I wanted the adventure, but once I saw the shit was going on in the New World and the Grand Line, bro, that basically made me change.
So basically, you think that something similar that happened with remember how Kaido and Maria they used to fight, and then
Yeah,
Kaido
yeah,
destroyed Gecko Maria, and then Kaido
yeah.
became a Yonko. Basically, you think something like that happened to Big Mom?
Yeah, probably the same thing. Like, if you look at it, the Shichibukai is basically almost have the similar stories, like him, Crocodile, and Gecko Maria. He said, yo, he used to like his crew. He used to like
Hmm.
his crew. We used to have fun. But once we got near Kaido, I'm like, go, Kaido killed everyone, but left me alive. He gave me a huge L. I should have done. I should have like went to see Davy Jones along with my crew, but I didn't. So I'm forced to have to relive the moment. So that's why I want zombies, bro. Like his logic for just wanting zombie crews, it's I understand it, but it's illogical
Yeah,
because it makes no sense. Why would you sacrifice living beings for just zombies?
yeah, it's pretty whack, especially whenever they all have like the same weakness.
Yeah, basically the zombies are basically like devil fruit users. Basically, you just put like drop them in the ocean, or basically put salt in their mouths. They basically like the shadows come out,
Yeah,
and Kaido would just one shot them with a club.
easily.
So
So is that the topic?
you're the ones who had the topic, bro. Like you had the notes written down. We were just talking about them. I think you mentioned also Dragon.
Okay, all right. So you just want me to go down the list and talk about them then?
Yeah, that's what
All
the
right,
discussion is for, man.
all right. Okay, well, since I started the stream after I explained what we were talking about, let me just go ahead and explain that real quick, and then we'll finish it. Um, so so basically, Shiki. Wait, what was it from? Oh yeah, basically I watched the Strong World episode 0, and I noticed that it said that Shiki has two famed blades called. Oh, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. Can't do that. I don't speak Japanese. But
You're
basically,
gonna have to, man. You're gonna have to if we
look,
want future subs. You gotta
bro,
start pronouncing Japanese.
bro, bro, can I at least spell it out? I'm gonna spell it out. That's what.
No spelling, bro.
O
This
U
ain't preschool. This ain't preschool, right?
T-O-U and Kogarashii.
Yo,
Y'all can go ahead and pronounce that however you want to, but I ain't about to do it.
you might as well end it with Old McDonald had a farm. E-I-E.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, okay. So the two blades, O2 and Kogarashi, and basically the first one means 10 cherry blossoms. Okay, and that could be alluding to the cherry blossoms that we saw um in the depiction of Wano.
Yeah.
Whenever we saw like that mountain in the background, and then the second one means cold country wind. That could also be alluding to the again the depiction of Wano whenever we saw it was snowing. We saw the big wind cloud and whatnot.
We don't really know if it's snowing on Wano because are you alluding to the part when we saw that dude with the giant machine gun for an
Hmm.
arm? But it was stated that it was in the manga and anime. It was it was one of these islands that Kaido liked. So it's probably one of the territories of Kaido, but not the actual one. And I'm pretty sure if you go back to the chapter when we saw that Japanese house, that there was no snow coming down. So you could say that Wano is probably situated in a direction where it's always like it's always summer.
But okay, see that's what I thought. But do you remember whenever we saw that mountain that everybody was saying like was alluding to like an ogre or something like that?
Yeah,
You remember that theory with the whole Momonosuke and the ogre, and then it had the mountain, the weird shaped mountain.
yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that supposed to be Wano? Cause it had like those trees, like those Japanese trees and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had those, so I assume that that's what they were talking about.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Wano is probably situated where a point where it's always sunny. It's like Wano is basically Florida or California, where it's always hot.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things. Like I don't even want to go through it all because they've already had theories about this, but there's a lot of things about Shiki that gives off the Wano vibe, including the kimono that he wears, and then the long
Yeah.
hair and all that.
Well, you could say that about some characters in One Piece that still wears traditional Japanese garbs.
Yeah, but he's the OG, so I mean, he had to get it from somewhere. So we could at least agree that he's been there.
So if he got the garb from Wano, where did he get the rest of his attire? Like the mohawk, the cigarette? Did he get that from Logtown? The cigarette just went to smoker. Yo, I know you know I used to basically trash Roger, so give me a fucking cigarette. I'm gonna give you an early L before the series before
Wow.
before the Caesar arc comes in, man. What was that arc called again?
Punk has.
Punk Hazard. Yeah, I'm gonna give him an L. Give him a cigarette before I give you an L before Punk Hazard.
Wow. Yeah, on that note, we're gonna go to the next topic. Okay, so basically, I was watching it right. I was watching the scene whenever Roger gets executed, and then it shows like all the basically the warlords, but before they
Yeah.
actually became warlords, and then they
Yeah.
show Dragon walking away from the whole execution afterwards. And, they're teasing us because he's still wearing the same thing that we've seen him always wear, is that cloak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He just looks exactly the same. You can't even tell what he's wearing besides that. But what made me think, what made me come up with this theory is that whenever it shows his face flash in the light, he doesn't have that tattoo that he has on his face nowadays. So I'm thinking maybe like after that day, like basically Roger's execution was his inspiration to become a revolutionary. Maybe before that, I'm gonna stick with my theory that he was an admiral or he was working for the Navy. And then that's whenever he decided to go rogue and he got the face tat and he was revolutionary.
But seeing as how he's supposed to be an OP character, supposedly,
Hmm.
so I don't think he's supposed to be Vice Admiral. Like he shouldn't be on. I know that when it comes to Vice Admirals, they fluctuate. They're basically like,
I said admiral.
well, okay, Admiral. I don't think so.
Well, if he starts off the series as an admiral, I think that's pretty good.
I would probably go Vice Admiral or Rear, but he would have to be a Vice Admiral because I don't see why they would just let this guy go. No, they would
But
just
he
they would
had
not do anything about him since they know he's basically Garp's son. Why not go to Luffy's island and go look for the guy if you know he's Garp's son? And if he was a Marine, how come you didn't keep tabs of
well, here's the thing.
him?
We've seen Aokiji was an admiral and he left after he got defeated by Akainu, and now he's working for Blackbeard, which is like switching. You can't do that. That's like going to the rival gang. So with Dragon could have been secretly doing things while he was still working for the Marines, building up his army of rebels, and then he decided to just completely flip on them. And if he's already at admiral level, you can't really oppose the dude. And if he, you know what I'm saying, and if he actually leaves and he's admiral level, I mean, he has the most bounty, like the highest bounty or whatnot. So I mean, that's just giving him more reason of why he has the highest bounty. Obviously,
Well,
he had to do more than that, but
I'll disagree. I'll disagree with you with the event. So what you said that he basically was doing his stuff, then he quit. I think he quit there. I think he quit before, but in his mind, he was like, okay, I've seen too much shit, and my dad's not doing anything, and he wants me to join justice and claim that the Marines are good and not. So basically, Gold Roger, who was a criminal, who did what he wanted, who was free, because he always talks about freedom. That's basically a key word from Roger, and he uses it multiple times within the series. And I think that was the moment. Once Roger got executed, it's when he basically started going on the path to rebelling against the world government because, like you said, he didn't have a tattoo. He had it now. He had it when he came back to his own town to basically save Sabo. So you could say because not a lot of time went by because you could say it's basically around 12 years. He had enough time to basically have what he wanted, but it took another 10 years prior to get there.
Yeah, because okay, because think about it this way: if he had it whenever Sabo, whenever he came back to get Sabo,
Yeah,
let's say how old was Sabo? Do you know?
Sabo was 12 years old, the same age as Ace.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're right. 12 years. So yeah, 12 years after the execution, that's whenever he decided. That's whenever he basically made his move to become a
Yeah,
full
yeah,
revolutionary.
because after Roger died and Ace was 12, so he had 12 years to build up his might. And it was around then that people were saying, "This king, I forgot his name. He was at the river. He said, we gotta watch after this guy. If we
Yeah,
don't do something now, he's gonna go. He's gonna get big." And it took 12 years, and he got big. He had that big ass dragon ship, and he had people working for him. And you got fast forward to another decade. Look at him now.
exactly. Okay, so yeah,
Like he's like basically ISIS.
not gonna go that far, but
You have to, bro. He's like the good side of ISIS. He's not like bad ISIS, but he's good ISIS.
uh, okay. Well, I have no top. I have nothing to say about that. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I thought it was just cool to point out that they showed him without the tattoo, which means that he probably wasn't a revolutionary at that time, but then within that 12 years, he became a very well-known revolutionary.
Yeah,
Uh,
because
you know,
I
also
think
known as the most wanted criminal.
I think probably he was in the ranks. He was going up because I think Akainu was vice admiral at the time. Wait, Robin? Yeah. Because Robin Island was destroyed 20 years prior, around the same time that Roger got executed because it was 20 years.
Yeah,
So Akainu was already vice admiral. The other two were already vice admiral. So him, he was probably either vice admiral or moving up to that position.
yeah. So he was going up in the ranks, and then he decided to just move on. But it takes me to the next topic. We've already, I think we already talked a little bit about it, but I don't remember if it was recorded or not. Anyways, it brings me to the next topic: is that I believe that it takes at least two admirals to defeat one Yonko. I don't believe that they're completely equal. That like it can be a 1v1 and then the admiral can potentially win. I feel like it has to be at least two, maybe three admirals to one Yonko. And the reason I believe this is because in episode 0, um, basically it took Sengoku, who was an admiral at the time, and Garp, who was a vice admiral, but we all know that he just chose to stay at the position. Technically, at that time he was admiral level.
So he's
So it
basically
took two
so
admirals to take
you
down
could say
Shiki.
Garp is like pseudo admiral against Shiki.
Yeah, so basically it took two admirals to take down Shiki, who I believe was Yonko level.
Well, when it comes to the Yonko, so like I don't think you need one like 1v1. I kind of was getting destroyed by Whitebeard
Exactly.
until basically Whitebeard started feeling sick. So I'm wondering right now. It just came out of my head. Like, what if Ivankov just came from behind Whitebeard and fucking stabbed him with his nails and said, "Yo, let me give you some imperial hormones to basically make you forget the pain, so we can just save Ace." Do you think it would have been differently? Because he would have just ignored the pain itself. Because Luffy was in pain, but he got two injections until he basically felt the actual pain when basically Ace died in front of him.
Honestly, that's actually a genius statement because if you look at Whitebeard's personality traits, if he didn't have to feel that pain or that sickness, you know what I'm saying? He's known as the strongest man for a reason.
Yeah,
He's ruthless. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't feel that pain or the sickness, he would go against Akainu and just tear him apart.
Yeah,
easily.
yeah. If you remember the thing when Ace was getting executed, he was going to use the Conquer King's hockey. He's like, "Yo, you think you can stop me?" He was going to use Conquer Kings, and then he felt the pain. He went down. So
Yeah,
if
and
basically even called basically say, "Yo, I'm going to inject you. I'm going to give you like your prime force, but you're going to be feeling the pain later on. So I'm going to unleash everything, so you can go wild on the battlefield and shit."
and
So
on top of that, think about these other factors. Okay, think about it. Okay, so then it would probably end up being like that. All three of the animals would probably actually take it seriously, and it'll be
yeah,
all three animals against Whitebeard. And
yeah,
as that's going down, they're not going to be strong enough to go against Whitebeard and try to, fend off the commanders.
yeah,
So and then the warlords, they would be the only other people strong enough to even hold off the commanders, but the
yeah,
warlords were definitely not taking it seriously at all. So,
yeah. Because
so
if
yeah,
you,
Ace is definitely getting saved if that happens.
I'm pretty sure like when Ivankov basically injects you, you probably unleash all your primal force because sometimes you have to go a little crazy before you somewhat gain control of your senses. Because remember when Whitebeard gets pissed, he basically loses control.
Yeah,
So imagine that if Ivankov basically gave him that boost and he lost control, but he would get like 10 times the power. And I think it would take like all three animals in some Pokemon combination where there's an attack called Tri Attack where it's basically heat, fire, and ice.
yeah,
Thing.
yeah.
It's like fire,
Fire
yeah,
go trio.
ice, yeah, fire, ice, and light. It's like a three attack. So since we don't have we have magma, we have ice, but we don't have lightning. So you could consider at least Kizaru's lasers somewhat as lightning. So it would be like a tri attack. So you don't know if he'd be burned, he'd be electrocuted.
It would be Tri-Tech versus Hyper Beam.
Yeah, tri attack versus hyper B.
Or, or
But
oh,
still, on the Big Mom note, I don't think Big Mom could have done shit if she came there. Like, if she came there, like, could she have just, if she sent like an army of people, like, what if she has like a bunch of these homies that can basically rip out your souls?
I won't say she does, but that would be overpowered if she did though. Like that's
because because it's almost on some Gecko Moria shit.
hmm
And if she has these kind of homies, I don't know, maybe snake like that basically absorbs your. If you, I don't know if you watch the Naruto ending where basically Obito basically summoned a god tree that basically had these dragons. These dragons were absorbing people's
yeah,
life forces, and it turned them like fucking like dead corpses.
yeah.
So if she had this kind of hacks ability where she doesn't need to go out there and touch fodder, she can just send fodder, and they can just grab these people, absorb their life forces, and Big Mom could. I don't know. Does Big Mom like double in size if she takes it? Like, will she pull some Gecko Moria thing?
I don't know. It's too early to say, man. But I
Because
see
their
where you're
powers,
going with
their
it.
powers are a bit similar. I know it's too early, but Big Mom is like her powers. Well, at the beginning, we thought we knew what her powers were. We thought they were like weather related. Turns out it's not. Which she's a wild card.
Yeah,
Her devil fruit is very well versed. It has multiple
uses.
applications I could say.
Yeah.
Because you could use this as surveillance. You could use this as a way to
I mean, she
basically.
could basically turn their own weapons against them if you wanted to.
Yeah. Yo, can you imagine like if she could probably kill Akainu.
How so?
Well, Akainu probably like if she's going magma phase, like imagine like if what's his face, that wax dude, like the candy cane dude. What if she basically like when he's going for Big Mom, right? And that candy cane dude basically or a smoothie, no, not smoothie, opera.
Yeah.
Opera could probably turn the floor into jello or some shit where basically Big Mom basically she doesn't move where she looks like she's slipping, but really she's ducking. And basically like, yo, I got you. But when you see
What?
it'll be like a Matrix move. Where basically she's
No. No, Big Mom is not doing the Matrix.
it's like
Oh my gosh.
it's like a
Yo, this
double
man did not just say that.
it's like a double team opera and Big Mom. versus Akainu, where basically Opera basically makes the force somewhat slippy. And Big Mom pulls a Matrix, and you
Oh,
see Akainu's punch basically fucking dodges her where she's bending down, and she's like, "Yo, I got you now. I'm taking
no.
100 years. I'm taking 100 years."
Yo, okay. First of all, of all the people to make up a combination, you didn't even say one of the three commanders.
Wow, wait, wait,
I'm
wait.
saying you said Opera, the
Yeah.
guy who got defeated by Jinbei just because Jinbei threw some fire on him. Regular old fire, yo. He just threw some fire on him and punched him, and then Opera was down.
Well, you think the admirals would know that this dude you need fire to take him out?
That's besides. Wait, hold up. Akainu is fire, pretty much.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. Like Opera, I'm telling you, like the way I see it is like if Big Mom is going for Akainu, right? It's gonna
Well,
be
the way you see it is
Yonko, Yonko against Admiral. I don't think they want to go after the captains yet. So it's Yonko. Let's take out a Yonko. He goes for her. Opera pulls a fucking makes the floor like fucking slippery with ice cream and shit. Big Mom, Big Mom does the Matrix. He dodges the punch, goes in for 100 years of fucking pain or whatever to rip out her soul. So, but he doesn't need to be actually there. It could be just like the fight between Luffy and Magellan. Remember, Mister Three wasn't even near Luffy. He was basically taking his distance. And he was using candle wax from a distance.
look, man. I don't know how you even conceived an idea like that. And
I told you,
I'll
bro.
praise you. I'll praise you on your creativity, though.
I told you, bro. I got a wild imagination.
Most definitely. At least this one wasn't furry related.
Uh, I could probably give you more.
You don't have to. Anyways, so okay. So another thing that I want to talk about is okay, Blackbeard. Okay. So in the flashback, whenever we saw Shiki on Whitebeard's ship talking to Whitebeard, Blackbeard was in the background, and basically what Shiki was talking about was about he was telling Whitebeard about his plan to come back in 20 years and
Yes,
to
take it from
wreak
the
havoc and whatnot. So I was thinking maybe this is some of the roots, some of the foundations of where Blackbeard got his ideas from to start planning 20, 10, 20 years ahead of time. Just so then he can raise his power to become a Yonko.
Yeah, maybe,
Because
but
he was actually there in the background too, right
yeah,
behind Shiki.
I can see that. But I remember that he said in the manga that the only reason he lost respect for him is he got old. He got old and soft.
Oh, is that that?
Yeah, he said that he got old and soft. That's why he lost respect for him.
Well,
And I
yeah.
think
I mean, he wasn't
I,
old yet, but still, like, even whenever he did get old, I'm pretty sure this flashed back into his head and was all,
yeah, the flashback is like 22 years.
yeah,
22 years prior. So it's a lot of time for Whitebeard to basically his mentality to just basically
change
frown,
fast enough.
to
And
basically not really change, to basically walk away from, oh, Whitebeard is my dad and Whitebeard is now my prey. I'm gonna
yeah,
take his devil fruit because he's an old fucker. He's basically dying. So what's the point of letting this power basically him dying with the power and just awakening it somewhere else? I'm gonna get myself a devil fruit that can rip it from him, even if I have to go to his in his sleep and basically pull the one thing that Ace couldn't do multiple times, basically kill Whitebeard.
hmm, that sounds like a sound like a personal vendetta right there. But
Well, well, you know the go, but basically, like it's like the mafia, bro. When you're basically moving up the rank in the mafia, there's always some dude in the background. He basically acts all loyal, or basically sometimes like an idiot, but really he's a very cunning dude, and he waits for the right moment. Once the boss is alone, he takes him out and blame it on some other dude. Then he becomes the new leader.
yeah,
So to me, it's like I feel it's like Whitebeard basically Blackbeard wanted his power. So he know he was getting old. He's not the same dude he was before. So why not just get rid of him? Get a devil fruit, kill Whitebeard, take his power. Since you're already fresh,
get that magic laundry bag.
yeah, with a magic
We
laundry bag.
still don't know what it does,
Uh,
but we
basically, I think it cleans your clothes. basically married.
I thought you said that Burgess was holding his toothbrush in there.
Yeah, I said it was basically all his utensils, whatever shit, man. Because we've seen it go. No, why are we bringing back this shit again, man?
Yo, that's the
We've seen.
craziest thing that you ever said.
Yeah,
That's the craziest thing you ever said.
no, it's not the craziest thing, bro. The laundry bag thing, like it's been all over One Piece. We've seen that constantly, where basically the Straw Hats or anybody they have a bag in the back, man. Like that bag has always had what they wanted. It's either food, it's either medicine, or it's either compass, whatever the fuck. They've always had these travel bags with.
uh, nah, bro. This is supposed to be a special bag, a very important bag, and you just assume,
No, no, you guys said it was some bullshit. You guys said it was, oh, he had a knife that could basically steal devil fruits. Like that knife could just be just to kill someone,
bro.
and
Okay, I
all
don't know.
they need to do was to bring the corpse to Blackbeard. Like, what if the devil fruit itself doesn't like automatically just go and basically recycle itself? Like when the user dies, it said it took 3 years, right? So if the body's still fresh, even for 12 days, they bring him to Blackbeard, so it's enough time to basically rip out the devil fruit because it takes 3 years. So it's a slow process.
Look, man,
And you guys were spamming, the bag, man, the bag got a devil fruit power. And
bro.
Keenan had
It
that
was
bag. Like, why didn't he get devil fruit powers if they
yo,
were good for devil fruit users?
yo, yo. I don't know exactly what was in the bag or what the purpose of the bag. I mean, I know what the purpose of the bag was, though, is that it was to show us that he had some sort of trick that he could pull out that we
Nah,
don't know about yet that helped him to go ahead and steal the devil fruit on the
yeah,
spot.
I still call that bag was just shit, man. It was just a whatever the fuck you could carry. Whether you go, like I said, either it's a laundry bag or some shit. You put your stuff in there. It doesn't matter. It's like if you basically, let's say you basically went into a fight and you basically lose your bag, whatever, right? And you take whatever fucking sheet is there and you basically turn it into a laundry bag, right?
Okay, so I'm not even following you up on that one. I'm just gonna say, okay, so basically, Blackbeard, he knew that he was going to pick up those people from Impel Down, so he's all like, you know what? Let me throw in a bag and let me put some, let me put some like some toothbrushes in here for them. You know what I'm saying? They probably ain't brushed their teeth in a long time. They've been in jail the whole time. Let me get some fresh soap and throw it
Yo,
in there. Some new clothes. That's what you're saying. That's the whole purpose of the bag. The bag that stole
I never said
Blackbeard.
that. I'm just saying that probably was his stuff in there. Like, it could be anything. It could be the knife itself. Like, we didn't see him have a a pocket for the knife. Probably he puts it in there. He puts whatever he needs in the bag. Like, it could have been. I also said it could have been where he puts his clothes in there. He just puts his clothes. He puts his knife. Puts whatever he wants. Because
Okay,
if he didn't look, bro, like
I really don't need any more explanation. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is just a little bit too ridiculous, man.
nah, you just can't stop greatness, bro.
That's not what that was.
It was greatness, bro. Like you basically had your fill with the day when I said that. Even today.
Okay, well, moving on. I don't really have that many more topics to talk about. Everything else is kind of irrelevant.
Like what?
Okay, like there's this one that was like, okay, Odin is probably around Shanks or Buggy's age, which they're both 39.
Who then? Nah, man. This dude's old as fuck. From what we know.
Well, no. But from what we know, whenever he was on Roger and Whitebeard's ship, he was an apprentice. And
Because if you look at it, like I think really was either 10 years. Like okay, so if you compare the age of Rayleigh and Whitebeard, right?
mhm.
They both have white hair, so you could say Whitebeard is much older than Rayleigh. But if you compare Roger and Whitebeard, Whitebeard wasn't that much like old. Like he still had blonde hair when he was drinking that sake cup, so he wasn't that old.
What does that have to do with Odin?
Odin basically like because they said that Odin was around. He was young. He was a young man, just like Roger. And Roger reached the
Is that what they said? I don't remember them saying that.
yeah. They probably said he was a young man also. because he didn't know what he was doing. Because it was 20 years ago, bro. So you could probably say that Odin was around 50. He was probably 30, just like
bro.
Roger.
Bro, he was an apprentice. Look, going from what they said, he was an apprentice, and so were Buggy and Shanks. So I assume that he was somewhere around their age. He could have been like 3 years older than them, but at the same time, he couldn't have been that old. And my other fact, well, I guess this one doesn't. It's not like theory shaking or anything, but Momo is really young right now. He's like what, 8 years old, 6 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
If he's an old man, why does he have such a young kid? I mean, he could, but he's a success. You know, he needs a successor to his country. So why would he choose to be
Massively,
old?
what the fuck did you just said to me right now? Like, if he's an old man, why would he have a kid?
If you're okay, if you're a king, why would you wait till you're like 50 to have a kid to succeed over your country? You're supposed to like have him much younger than that because you don't know how long you're gonna last.
Mainly because the maybe because Odin, maybe he wasn't feeling it.
That's not a valid answer. I'm
I
just
mean,
gonna go ahead. No, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that point. Okay, one
maybe he
James,
wasn't feeling it.
zero Oscar.
Maybe he was using maybe he was using the same pill as Donald Trump, man. Like Donald Trump basically used pills to keep his hair up on his skull, bro, and that makes him lose his vitality.
That's getting editing out. But anyways, so yeah, so Odin is definitely around Shanks and Buggy's age. It just makes sense. Whatever Oscar's saying is it's nonsense, y'all. But y'all should know that already.
Wow. Wow, this was the dude that was saying nonsense throughout. I'm just commenting, bro.
Nah, nah. I ain't never said no nonsense. You can't
Really?
prove that.
Can't prove nothing. This video is gonna go online in a while.
Look, man, you
So,
still can't prove nothing. I'm the one who edits it. Power of the press, man.
so if any of you want to know what really happened, I can tell you.
I can take this part out too. No,
Because I'm the only one that basically here that remembers things. Like those three monkeys, see no evil, hear no evil. So I just pretend I don't see all three, but I'm still recording.
okay. And then okay, there's one more topic. This one
Yeah.
is really irrelevant again, but I mean, I feel like it's something that somebody should bring up. Okay, so does old age really diminish like the power of top tier characters? Because if you look at like Sengoku, he was a fleet admiral when he was pretty old. You know what I'm saying? He's the same age as Garp, and he was a fleet admiral, and he actually had power to show that he was worthy to be a fleet admiral at that age. And then you have people like Kong. Uh, we haven't seen him fight necessarily, but he looks like he's in tip top shape, and he happens to have the highest rank in the Marines, and he's the oldest one there, and he's a
Yeah.
former fleet admiral. So, do you think that like age really makes your power go down? Because I don't.
Kinda depends if you're really, really OP, like Whitebeard. Like he still had his strength, but they said that he wasn't that strong. So you could say, like, with age, you keep 75% of your strength, but it's the hockey itself, since it's a will ability, it's still there. So
Yeah,
it's not weakening at all. You could say, in fact, you could say your body's weakening, but your mind is still strengthening.
yeah, I feel that. That's a good point. Like, cause I feel like you can't go below admiral level if you're a top tier character at your prime. I feel like you're not gonna drop below admiral level. You
Yeah.
can't just surpass admiral level and then just like go back to being supernova level just because you're really old.
Yeah, well, because if Whitebeard was like, remember when Akainu was talking shit, smack about Whitebeard? Oh, basically Whitebeard was this, it wasn't this and that, and he was just an old fool.
Yeah,
But if this dude was no fool, why go after him?
exactly. He still had so much strength, even though it wasn't to what his strength capacity was at his
Yeah.
prime. He still had enough strength to rival you. You know,
Yo, do you
and
think when it comes to Whitebeard that he should have just gone to battle with the tank? Get an oxygen tank with him. You think like if he didn't take it?
bro, I thought you was talking about a real tank. You said
Nah, bro.
it was
I'm
like
talking
a
about the
tank.
oxygen tank, bro. Like when he took it out, like imagine that when he took it out, he started feeling pain right there. When he had it, he wasn't feeling pain. He was drinking. He was okay. So if he went in battle with a fucking oxygen tank, could he have gotten like the hound dog in the chest?
Man, I mean, maybe if he's pumping some steroids up in that thing, then yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You could say that the oxygen check could probably at the same time anesthesia. Like, what would have wouldn't have would it have been any different if he basically had an oxygen tank that had anesthesia in it? That way, he wouldn't feel his old age whatsoever, and he could go all out against him.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would be going ham. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fanboy over him, but at the same time, that's actually a good point. Like, why take off the why? That's like, okay, you're about to go. Let's say you're about to go play a baseball game or something like that,
Yeah,
and right before, a couple hours before the baseball game, you know you're supposed to take your medicine, but you just decide not to take the medicine for no good reason. Just like, oh, I just want to go play with my natural strength.
yeah,
Like, of course you're gonna be weaker. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, why would you do that?
yeah. Because if you look at it, when he faced Shanks on the ship, I believe that oxygen tank was still in his basically in his nostrils.
Yeah.
I don't think he took it out. He only took it out when he was going in the Marineford. That's what I'm thinking. Like if he had a portable version and he fought on it because I'm thinking that I'm pretty sure that he was some point he was breathing hard. He
Hmm.
was pretty much breathing hard in the fight, even though he pretended like he wasn't nothing.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying the tank is what makes him Yonko level.
Oh yeah,
Basically,
yeah. Well,
it's like how they ranked him in Marineford. Remember in
yeah,
Brago streams, they said
yeah.
Whitebeard's prime is an S, but whenever he was at Marineford, he was at A plus. So basically, without the tank, he's A plus, but with the
He's A
tank,
plus, bro. It's like I said, like we looks like that we got a discussion. Is the tank admiral level?
uh,
Is the accident tank admiral level? We should put multiple segments, man. Just cut the stream in multiple segments.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll end it with the is the tank at the oxygen tank on admiral level because how
is
would
the
he go against?
oxygen tank
Because
admiral level?
yeah,
Dun,
how would
dun.
he go against Shanks on his own ship and they crack the sky in half and you got the oxygen tank still on him. So
Mm,
if he took it out, he wouldn't have no oxygen just to make him forget that he's in pain or any anesthesia. He would go all out on Shanks. But then he would be like feeling the pain that he felt on Marineford.
yeah.
Shanks would have probably won that fight on the ship.
And Shanks was even trying to Shanks wasn't trying to kill him or nothing, but
Yeah.
he'd probably defeat him.
Yeah, he'd probably be on his knees, bro. He'd be like, yo, man, I'm the strongest man now. He'd be like, I'm the strongest dude. And I'm the strongest man. I'm gonna take a trophy. I'm gonna take your admiral, your basically your young your king of pirate oxygen tank. I'm gonna take that too.
No,
I'm gonna use
he's gonna take Marco and make him join his crew.
yeah, he's gonna take Marco or the oxygen tank.
Marco or the oxygen tank. I could see that like Shank's face, like like whenever he has his eyes wide open.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
imagine every time Shanks goes into a fight, he sniffs into the oxygen check, puts it in his nostrils. Yo, let me take a whiff.
this is
Okay,
the legendary. This is the legendary air that Whitebeard breathed.
yeah, this is the One Piece, man. The oxygen tank.
Oh, that's probably what he used to defeat Kaido in that class.
Yeah, that's probably what the One Piece is, man. Whitebeard's oxygen tank. We just been forgetting about this. The One Piece is basically the oxygen tank, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's that Yonko level oxygen tank, man.
Yeah. So I think we'll be ending the stream now. So
Yeah.
like and subscribe.
Subscribe and
So,
like.
yeah, and we'll be trying to see. We'll try to see if we could book another discussion tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Ashra out, Master J.
Undercover brothers out.
Okay.
So cheesy.
What do you want me to say, bro? You
Well,
could basically.
I thought we practiced this, man. I say feel cheesy, and then you say extra cheesy,
Wait,
and
wait. You never said that to me.
we definitely said this. This was rehearsed.
No. We never. You never explained that to me. If I did, I would have said it.
Nah, you just hating.
Nah,
See what?
I
Watch.
don't
I'm gonna
remember
try it
you
again. You ain't gonna catch it. Feel cheesy.
for cheesy. Oh, how about for sizzle?
Look, you messed up, man. For shizzle, who's saying that though?
Oh, so who said for cheesy? That's even worse.
Nah, bro.
Don't think that you're an old man, man. Since you're using that like dudes under the bed thing.
Okay, we're ending the stream now. Okay, peace.